Hey guys, welcome back to the Mock Sports presents the Quaddie Poddy. As you can see, it's just me this week after a viral clip of our friend Cashy on Knight's Order. How you going, mate? Sitting in the corner. I've banished him to the corner facing the wall. Yeah, geez, he had to rip one horse, didn't he? He had to rip one horse, and if that's not the mock, I don't know what it is. But nah, hope everyone's doing well. Cashy, you can come back, mate. I know, you can come back. You've had your time out.
Okay.
But if you're only listening to the pod, I made Cashy face the corner for the start of the episode, and I had to do the intro because if you missed it, which I'm sure none of you have, Cashy absolutely ripped Knight's Order, said if you get the ticket in a sweep, throw it out, and as you all must know, it went on and won. So,
yeah,
how you going, mate?
Knight's Choice. It's going to be in my nightmares for the rest of my life. Oh, my God. I could have made a case for every horse but that horse. And, of course, it comes out and wins. Oh, it's been a rough couple of days. But, I mean, I feel like my credibility as such hasn't dropped off that much, if we even have any credibility to have in the first place. Because, I mean, a couple of years ago, I did the same thing with Giga Kick. And at least Giga Kick had form going into that race. Don't bullshit me. Nobody can tell me that that horse had any form going into this race. So many keyboard warriors came out after that and said, "Oh my God, how'd you not find that? It was the roughie that got away." Shut up. No, it wasn't. It didn't have any form. But just like the Cup, it rocked up on the day. It was the best horse on the day. And congratulations to Robbie Dolan. Congratulations to the trainers. Like I said, it would be really nice to see them win. I didn't think they had a hope in hell. I thought they were going to come last by a mile. But, oh my God, the Cup, you got to love it.
Yeah, it just proves why you can't have a tip on that race.
Yeah, it just, if that doesn't prove that race is a lottery, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
I thought Akita Sushi was home at the 200. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, I was getting a bit nervous for thought I was gonna be stuck at McDonald's when I saw Akita at the 200. But
yeah.
Warp speed probably only missed it by 10 meters in the end. Jeez, that was a good run. I didn't mind warp speed.
Yeah, we both said that it was only going to improve, and it did just that. I didn't think it was going to improve to the point where it was going to come second by a bob of the head, but you know, up in distance, drier track, I only thought it was going to run better than that Caulfield Cup effort. But when I saw them come through together, I was like, oh my God, Knight's Choice is going to place. And then I saw him start to head warp, so I was like, oh my God, Knight's Choice is going to win. And then my mouth was just dropped open. Knight's Choice, that's Akita Sushi, that's the closest I've ever gotten to backing Melbourne Cup winner on the head. I've backed the winner in my second tips a couple times. If you took my $50 betting strategy, you would have broken even by about $5 because of the each way bet on Akita Sushi. But just Knight's Choice. I could have literally made a case for every single horse but it. But what an absolute story. Robbie Dolan meets Sheila Laxon on a cruise, takes a photo with her with the Melbourne Cup that she won all the way back in the early 2000s, and now they have a Melbourne Cup together. Laxon as well. 2 runners in a Melbourne Cup, 2 winners. It's just literally who rocks up on the day, who gets the best ride, and the cards need to fall the right way. And they did. All the gaps opened up. Robbie had the balls to take them, and he weaved them through. The gap appeared at the top of the straight, or like that 200 metre mark. Him and Warp Speed went through, and he got the bob of the head, and he's the Melbourne Cup winner.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just think if you're ever going to have a bet on that race, it's got to be mystery tries. I know that was where a lot of my money was. Didn't get lucky. I know I saw Knight's Choice in a couple of my early ones, and I was like, oh, well, they're done. But look, that's the game. But I can't believe there's people actually going for you in the commenting saying like they knew anything about this and like, all right, look, I love giving it to you, mate. I love to hang it on you when I can, and but seriously,
I appreciated the people that could acknowledge just like his point was extremely valid. The horse had no form.
Why are they ripping you? Any person that does this said the exact same thing. So,
oh yeah, there's so many people like it was like I said with Giga Kick. No one thought that had a hope in hell of winning the Everest, but unlike Knight's Choice, it had the form, so you could have found it if you really looked hard enough. It had gone in undefeated. Knight's Choice had only placed in some big money races up in Queensland. and everyone's like, it was better than Class 1. It won its maiden, it won a Winx Guineas, and it won a bunch of benchmark 68s. It had only ever placed in races before that, had never gone 3,200. A few people were ripping me going, oh, come on, man. It's gone the distance before. No, it hadn't. Its best run over 2,400 was that Bendigo Cup run, and it's just, the Cup. That's all you can say. The Cup.
We'll leave it at that because we do have a lot more to talk about.
But are there any other horses you do want to talk about out of the Cup? Because there's so much to unpack.
We can touch on.
I will say punters quickly though. If you want to skip all this unfolding, there will be in the description when the tips start because there almost could be more unpacking than tips this week.
Yeah, we got a lot to unpack.
We got the Cup, we got the Golden Eagle weekend. There's a lot, but yeah, any other horses you want to look at from the Cup?
We can talk about Vaborn and Absurd. I thought Absurd did pretty well.
Yeah, fantastic. Also rubbed salt in the ruins that my first four had second through fifth, so that pissed me off. But
but Vaborn disappointing again. I don't know what their plan is or what
clearly
really
just can't go the Aussie way. Clearly just can't go in Australia.
Doesn't look like it travels very well. Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought Land Legend
second leader. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, I think from seeing what Zach Purton had to say, and it was always going to be the thing. Even Wallace said coming into the race, if it settled nicely, it'd be a good chance. But he just didn't settle. He just wanted to go a bit faster than he needed to go on a long race like that, and I thought he did pretty well considering he probably gassed himself. But if he can sort himself out, he could be a genuine horse in some of those big races. But it's the Cup, mate. Anything can happen. But
Buckaroo just didn't get the distance as we predicted. A lot of people are ripping Yao for the ride of going back. That's what he had to do. I don't think he was going to be able to sustain going forward all that way. And it was just pure distance in the end in my mind. You can argue Zhao's ride all you want, but the fact that he came into that race at the 500 metre mark and he looked like he was about to piss in and then immediately hit a wall at the 300 mark sort of reveals, probably wasn't going to get the 3,200. And that's just why I took him on and I was glad to have him out of my numbers. Sea King, wow. How has Holly Doyle gotten it to dead last from the first barrier when it's a front runner? I have no idea. So its race was over after 25 metres. Kovalika, standard non-winner, just running on again. He'll run on forever, that horse. The map, probably more underwhelming than you would have thought. Winona Costin said positivity could be a big one to watch this time next year if it goes around for another crack. Like I already touched on Sushi. Is there anything else really sticking out to you? Like you could unpack that race for days.
Yeah, there's not much
Just Fine,
else
of course, came last as we predicted, and for some reason it goes up as second favourite for next year. I don't really understand the logic behind that market, but okay. But we've seen crazier things happen. Night Choice won the Melbourne Cup. So, yeah, I think we could sit here and unpack it for days. Is there anything else that you really want to touch on?
Nah, not really. I'd love to know if anyone that follows us had a big ticket, any trifectas, any first fours, even the Quaddie.
First four paid 800 grand. Quaddie paid over $1 million, I think it did.
It's crazy.
Trifecta paid. I put up a meme as if, if I backed the field in all legs of the trifecta and lost 400, but you actually would have made $68 if you did that this year.
I saw that.
That's how rough it was. Backing the field in the trifecta actually would have profited you money, and that's like impossible in any race, let alone a 24 horse field.
Yeah, well, it wasn't all negative on Cup Day. Me and a couple mates played golf out at our local course, and we won the comp for Ambrose. We shot 9 under on the stick, and we're not great, so we can't complain with that. So not all losing, but that'll probably be the end of the Melbourne Cup kind of chat.
Yeah, because we've got that much to unpack from the weekend that was before that as well. Derby Day and Golden Eagle Day. Since we're on a Melbourne sort of topic, let's touch on Derby Day first. Jamie Carr starts the day with getting headbutted by a horse and a busted nose, and then all of a sudden she wins the Derby. Great ride as well.
Yeah, I thought she was concussed. I thought she was done for the rest of the day, and then wins the Derby. So pretty cool in the end. Another tough race to pick, man. And
I hate the Derby. I don't care what the traditionalists say. That race sucks. It like I said last week, it has about 4 horses that probably go on to do anything else, and then the rest end up doing nothing for the rest of their careers. half because maybe they're just not good enough, half because the 2,500 busts them. Look, I'm all for tradition. They're probably never going to change the distance. Should they?
No,
Maybe.
They won't change the distance.
I don't know. But I don't like the Derby. I think it's a nothing race every year. Riff Rocket's the only one in recent memory that really sticks out as one that went on to do anything. And again, I am saying this purely from a 2020 onwards perspective because that's when we started punting. The Derby could have been amazing in prior years before that. But from what I've seen in the last 4 years, it does not get my juices flowing at all.
Yeah.
Does not get me out in the morning. Does not put lead in my pencil, that's for sure.
Fair, nah, I don't blame you there, man. Switzerland.
Oh, yes.
Good win for you, man. Good win for you.
Yes,
I was pretty upset with that.
the Coolmore. I own the Coolmore, mate. Last 3 years, bang, bang, bang. Switzerland, Osmosis, and then 2022 in secret. I own that race, man.
I think people kind of, well, me in particular, I know Growing Empire had a lot of good form going into this third and at Everest, obviously, and it was racing really well prior to that. However, I just think a lot of people forgot how good Switzerland is.
I think also a lot of people forgot that he was one of the only horses in the race that had been set for it, whereas Traffic Warden and Growing Empire, it was after their grand final.
Yeah.
And that's a massive thing to think about in races, and it's certainly something we're going to touch on in the later Flemington races because there's quite a few horses that look good things on paper, but they're lining up in races that are 1, 2, sometimes even 3 starts after their grand final here. So they could be gassed. And I think that's just what Growing Empire was. Could have won, but just didn't have the energy in the end. I think Fresh, maybe he does win, but Switzerland was coming here, grand final. Waller's a grand final trainer. J-Mac's a grand final rider, and just absolutely blitzed them in the end.
And Empire Rose. We ran the Quinella. But yeah,
tissue, baby.
Just over the top.
Yes. Sorry, I just got excited again. Flashbacks to the fact that I had Switzerland and a tissue and a multi and won lots and lots of money. I wasn't really paying attention to that race because I was paying attention to the protests at Rosehill for the Golden Eagle. I'll explain why in a second. But then one of our mates just pulled up the phone 200 metres out and it was before a tissue made its run and I went, oh my God, Amelia's Jewel's going to win. I'm going to get done in here. I'm never going to hear the end of it. But a tissue dusts off the sleeves, wipes out the cobwebs, and J-Mac gets her over the line, and she goes around again this weekend, as does Amelia's Jewel, but in separate races. I'm very much so looking forward to seeing how they both bounce back after that 1 week back up.
Yeah, I think that race just summed up my day, I think.
Yeah, so we'll move to Sydney, and it's a common theme for you across the day. You love the taste of silver in the morning, Nicholas.
Oh, God, it started off nice. We did a stream on Dabble early and vibes were up. We got a
Vibes were very high.
winner on the stream, which was good. It was our first racing stream, which we had a lot of fun doing. Hopefully we will get another chance to do that. Tipped Alina first down in Flemington. And then it kind of started to fall apart for me from there. I think who did I have?
Here we go, I can tell you.
Oh, you got it ready. Iron Man?
So we had Pippi Beach come second in race 2. Greenbelt then comes second in race 3. Iron Man comes second in race 4. Piraeus comes second in race 5. We win with Bella Nipotina in race 7, which we'll touch on in a second. Race 8, Lazat comes second. Again, we'll touch on that in a second. A lot of pain comes with that one. Wait for that story. Then we win with Faulkner Park in race 9, and then race 10 we run first with Battleton over in Flemington. Powers of Opal comes second. Then you come second with Amelia's Jewel. You come third with Growing Empire. You were thereabouts, Nick. You just couldn't get over the line.
Oh, it was one of those things. Everyone around me was just having an absolute day.
This guy included.
And I was just there. Lucky we have a joint account and we won some money on a tissue and Switzerland together, but far out, man. I literally could not tip a winner. I've tipped that many second places and third place. I was done, man. And even into the last, I tipped in the tip off. I went Faulkner Park, but for money.
Oh, well, you had to switch to Faulkner Park after the scratching. Yep. So thank God of the scratching. You got your one winner.
Yeah. Well, who knows what would have happened if the scratching.
Oh, true. That's true.
It was a good chance.
True.
I've decided to go Star of India because one of my good mates that I saw at the track called me and he goes, I'm getting on Star of India. I'm like, and all I could think was all these people around me are winning. All these people are winning. If I don't get on this, it's going to win. And I'm literally going to be so pissed off. And what do you know? I've gone and I've tipped the winner, but I didn't have any of my own money on it.
And then in the last race, we're all getting on mountaintop. Nick's on mountaintop. Let's get around him. We're all on mountaintop because that's Nick's tip. We're putting all of our last amount of money on mountaintop. All of us as a big group.
Nick's due. Everyone's like, Nick's due. We're all due.
And then who gets up? Cashy's tip, Battleton. Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was done, man. I was done. Went out after that, and I've still got head noise from Saturday. But, look, I'm happy that we got that out of the way. But, look, I've spent a bit more time, punters, on my tips this week, just to hopefully back some horses. All right, I've spent a little bit more time because clearly what I was doing was working, but it wasn't getting me to the very, very top. And I'll tell you now, some of those misses were diabolical.
Oh, mate, Iron Man should have won.
Diabolical.
Dollar
man.
Magic
Lazat
should have won.
Okay.
Lazat should have won. Let's get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into Bella Nipotina in a bit because she was just phenomenal as well. But Lazat, oh my goodness gracious me. We decided to invest heavily on Lazat because we thought that rain coming down was only going to help its chances. We were both confident on it before the rain. The rain comes down. We're like, Lazat could piss in here. So we won't say the exact amount, but we had quite a nice collect coming our way.
Yeah, we had a lot of money coming back, and look,
I
genuinely, I was down. I don't know where you were. You
disappeared.
Yeah, I found a friend, and yeah, I went missing, and I'd had a couple by then, and I was down. I was in GA when I'd been in members all day, and I must say it was pretty dead at the Golden Eagle in general.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on the Golden Eagle crowd.
And I found a mate, and he was on Lazat as well. So I'm like, well, I might as well ride this with him. But we thought we had a nice collect. This guy like
times 10,
probably about times 30.
Yeah, big
of what we
punt,
had, big punter, and we're sitting there together. Watching it, and I didn't see Lake Forest on the inside, and I genuinely, from where we were standing, I was like, I'm not sure, man, but I think we got it. And I look, and I'm just there with my head in my hands, like, are you serious?
50 metres out, I thought we were home, and Lake Forest. I put an international trifecta on. Why didn't I put an international Quinella on? Oh my God. Just weaves to him on the inside and gets up in the last 3 lunges. Oh,
crazy.
Head in hands. And then all of a sudden you see the head-on vision and, oh, wait, they've bumped. Could we protest? No, Cashy, you're being an idiot. You're talking out of your wallet. Fair enough, okay, it happened after the line. He lodges the protest. And the next 40 minutes of my life, or however long it went for, it felt like 10 years, I'm sitting there glued to the screen, waiting to see if I'm getting my payout or not. Oh,
I was watching it going. I separated from that mate that had a lot of money on the race, and I called him about 15 minutes later. I was like, mate, I hope you didn't throw that ticket out because there is a protest.
I was straight on to you as well.
And I was like, honestly, the longer this protest goes, the better I think it'll be for us because clearly they got to talk a lot because it's a big race. Like they got to. It won't. Usually, it can take 10, 15 minutes, and they go, yep. But because it's such a big race, such a big money
double
race,
protest as well.
I thought it would be all right, but look, to no avail.
What a roller coaster! Lazat protest could be upgraded to first. Steffi Magnetica protest. Lazat could be downgraded to 5th. We don't even get the place money. My goodness me, a roller coaster and a half, punters. Both protests with merit to be thrown in, both with merit to be dismissed, in my opinion. Zach Lloyd, does Steffi Magnetica potentially win? Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
His fault.
Just swung to the outside of that when probably should have swung to the inside. Got closed immediately before she could sustain a run. If that decision had been made a split second earlier and the run had been sustained for a couple of, steps or strides or whatever you want to call it, potentially that gets up. But they had to say to him, look, it was immediate. We can't prove that the run was sustained to the point where you would have gotten past both of them and then won the race. So if he swings to the inside of Lazat in the run that Lake Forest ended up taking, probably wins. Swings maybe a few seconds earlier and then gets sandwiched, protest probably gets up. But woulda, shoulda, coulda, hindsight's great in hindsight, I guess, if I'm using that word correctly. But it just was a...
What was Lazat's like? He got bumped like 100 ago?
No, got bumped like basically in those last couple of strides, and they basically said, look, not enough to concede that, that race.
I wasn't sure. I kind of forgot about it.
Which is fair enough. So that got thrown out, and then they were more focused on this Steffi Magnetica one. A lot of people that were on Steffi Magnetica seem to think, robbed, give her the race. How dare that happen? I think it was, again, pure hindsight. The gap was there for a lot longer, could have been taken. There was also a massive gap that opened down the fence, which Lake Forest took to advantage. Could have done either of those things, but waited, swung at the complete wrong time. Again, in hindsight, he's probably seeing it, thinking it, perfect time to go, but it closed immediately. We're not jockeys. Obviously, hindsight, we can look back at that replay plenty of times. Definitely worth throwing it to the stewards, but completely fair to dismiss it, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Touch on Bella quickly.
Oh, she's so good. She is so good. She's now the second all-time earner behind Winks, and I guess I know that means nothing.
New favourite for Cashy.
No, it's not my new favourite. I know that means nothing because Winks would be ridiculous amounts of money if it was running around today. Same with Black Caviar. How many Everests do you think Black Caviar would have won? Easy. So she's probably got, 100 million in the bank if she's running around today? But Bella Nipotina, she's just fine wine. She backs up again this week. I'll probably be on her. She won't be my best bet this time, but how can you not be on her? Spoiler alert for later, but she's just every start. She's 7 years old. She's 50 plus starts in. She's won over 22 million, and somehow she just keeps getting better. It was a trial. She jogged past them in the end.
Yeah, it was weird. Like you said, that wasn't her grand final, and she still kicked through. So we'll watch her this weekend. Into more news around Stormboy getting sent to Europe.
Stormboy sent to Europe to be trained by Aidan O'Brien over in the Coolmore European areas. Look, does he just absolutely beat the hell up on these European sprinters? Probably. Or does he just get proven to be he's not that great?
He'd probably win. Like, Australia produced the best sprinters
around the world.
The world, I think. He'll probably do well.
Asfora won over there, so we know our B graders can go well over there.
Yeah, I think this is a lunge for a bit extra money because it just proved at the end of the day Stormboy couldn't hack it against the best.
They shouldn't have spent 50 million on him. So they need to try and find some collect on him because he hasn't found it in Australia. He's not going to find it in Australia. We figured it out this spring. So off to Europe he goes to try and recoup a bit of that money before they can breed him. But I mean,
he'll still breed well, I think.
Yeah.
They'd probably make it back just in breeding in the end.
But they would have loved to have gotten a collect back on prize money.
They wanted a ROI. But yeah. And we move to the last topic of conversation for you, and it's the tips punters. I know it's been a lot, but Pride of Jenny this weekend. Jockey Declan Bates been taken off.
There's quite a few listener questions on this. So guys, if you don't get your listener question answered, this is the reason, because you asked about this. Oh my, why? There's no reason. No reason whatsoever. He's ridden. That's like taking Hugh Bowman off Winks. What are you doing? He's her jockey. He's done nothing wrong. Why are you taking him off? You can't blame him for anything.
Yeah, this owner, I don't really know much about him. I don't have that Twitter handle that he apparently just says some outrageous things on. I know you're very talkative about it, and
Twitter hates him now. Yeah. Like, he's getting torn to shreds.
Well, I saw a couple of our followers messaging us saying that apparently Kieran Meyer had pretty much no say in this, and it was all this bloke. I don't know what's
Tony Otterbrae. That's the rumor. The rumor is Kieran Meyer was like, I don't really want to go to Sydney. Why don't we just all in on the Cox Plate, because we reckon she's gonna piss in if she's there at 100%. And he was like, it's a $5 million race. She'll back up fine. She's done it before. Let's get it going. We're going to Sydney. She got gassed there, comes to Melbourne, can't run the distance because she gets gassed. Probably should be going to the paddock anyway. Why is she running on the weekend? Now that I've said that, she'll win by 5 lengths. But again, he must be saying, Bates, you fucked it. It's your fault completely. You went too fast on her. You gassed her. You're off. You're out of here. Because apparently Kieran Meyer had no say. It was purely Tony's call that he just wanted her off.
Is he 100% owner of Pride of Jenny?
The family, I believe, is a 100% owner. The Otterbrae family.
Interesting.
But yeah, apparently Meyer has no say in this decision, which, I mean, I guess as owners, they have all the right in the world. Owners have all the right in the world to make these calls, but I'm a big trust your trainer, Trust your jockey. You're not the trainer for a reason. You're not the jockey for a reason. Okay? This isn't like you've had Declan Bates on for a couple of runs and it's not working out. Let's try something new. He literally won you all of those races. He's been the horse's jockey through and through. And as soon as her colours get lowered a little bit, you throw him off. This is way worse than Williams off Giga Kick. Way worse.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
And people
100%.
thought that was the end of the world. This is ridiculous.
I didn't realize how passionate you were about this.
I'm just seeing it from I'm just seeing it from the perspective that if I was Bates, I'd be shattered. I'd be so pissed off. Like that, like I said, that would be winks to him. That that's his horse.
Yeah. No,
Like-
I do agree. I'm not disagreeing. And you're angry, man.
Take
a breath, brother.
I don't know.
Damn.
He's got every right to make the call, but it's
It's no osmosis, man. It's like this is
like Rachel King getting taken off osmosis.
Oh my god, you just yelled so loud. It's like taking osmosis away from you. You just yelled so loud.
Yeah, I'm sorry, punters, if your ears are blown now.
Oh my god.
But no, it's ridiculous. I don't want to talk anymore about it. It just pisses me off, and the sad thing is it makes me want to see the horse lose now, just to show him that he's.
You always wanted to see that horse.
Yeah,
lose.
it's pretty much okay. Let's just get into the hotline.
We need to get into it. We need to get things moving here, mate. After
Shower
you yelled
bets.
into the mic.
Take me away, shower bets. Can we hear him? Why aren't we hearing him? Here we go.
Past week, I know. Didn't listen to podcasts. I don't want to. It's going to upset me to hear, boys, if you speak about me not being there. But we're in Bali. I'm not in the shower now, unfortunately. I will be next time, though.
Bro's whispering.
But currently sitting in my villa doing my form.
Hell
And
yeah.
I've got a few tips, boys. Okay. Let's start over here. Come on. Are you kidding me? Bella Nipotina 420 right now? That is ridiculous, boys. Ridiculous. Then Steffi Magnetica at $17. That's some value. That's some value, boys. I'm being quiet, but... And then, what else? I think Docklands will run a good race as well at $17. But how can you look for past Via Sustainer? I mean, it's just get on it. I mean, I'd love Bella Place and Via Sustainer win. I think that's a great multi. Anyway, boys, sorry to disappoint these past few weeks, but
Yeah.
be back to normal next week. Shabbat's out.
Jesus, you thought I hurt the punter's ears. My goodness me. I don't know what that was at the end. Don't do that to me again. Bella Nipotina Place, Via Sustainer multi. Don't do that to me again. Nature Strip into Animo on this day 2 years ago lost me a lot of money. I'm not getting sucked in again. Jake Batul.
Hey, bro, I just wanted to come and say I was actually looking at Knight's Choice.
Fuck
as
off.
like
No,
an
you
option
weren't.
For the winner, but then I watched your podcast and saw what you boys had to say and decided not to. So, thanks, champs.
Oh, we just got champed. As
You
if.
fucking loser.
Don't, Jake, I love you, mate, but don't tell me we do not deserve to get champed. Don't tell me you were looking at Knight's Choice. Come on, man. You're better than that. The old you wouldn't have called us champ. Come on, man. And then I'll skip the rest because they were discussing either
I'm
Pride
getting
or Jenny.
messages saying, please calm Cashy down.
The rest of the hotline was either about Pride or Jenny or Stormboy. So we'll go to the listener questions.
Let me get it up here, punters.
Sorry, punters. I'll take a deep breath. I'm just
You're
getting
on one
riled.
today, man.
Getting riled.
Bro's stimming. All right. Shave your head if AJ beats Amelia's Jaw beats Fangirl
Never.
home on Saturday.
Never.
I reckon it's a good bet. Or an eyebrow.
No way. Not a chance.
Change the name of the Coolmore to the Cashy.
Hell
No.
yeah. Hell yeah. I own
We're trying
that
to
race.
calm. We're trying to calm him down.
Own that race.
We're trying to calm that guy down. Was Steffi the sickest watch of the year? Hand out huge fines, but dismiss the protest. I think at the end of the day, it's tough to see, and it's annoying that that's what happens. Is people get banned, nothing comes out of the protest. But I think Zach Lloyd made the wrong decision on the day.
How weird is that though that they fined him 110 grand? That's half his winning purse. Where does that money go?
I don't know.
Like, what are they doing with that 110 grand that they've just stolen off that bloke?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Probably pay the stewards. Got to get through some of these. What a waste of a ride from Holly Doyle on Sea King.
Facts.
Thoughts on Steffi running in an Everest and 2 starts later running Champions Mile?
Don't mind it. She's a miler. She's not a sprinter.
Tips for the Oaks. We'll do that in a little bit. Is Extreme Choice the most versatile stallion ATM?
At the moment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's training. It's breeding sprinters and Melbourne Cup winners. So, I mean, yeah.
Is there anything else? Do you think Duke de Sessa has a chance of beating Via Sistina?
No. Watch, it'll win by 10 lengths now. Oh, Cashy, why do you do this to yourself?
Oh, goodness gracious me. All right, that brings us to the end of our listener questions. There was a lot more, but we just talked about Stormboy and Pride of Jenny. So
yeah, let's just put it all in the past. I'm calm now. I'm looking to tip some winners. Weather is going to be completely fine. It's going to be very hot, very dry on Saturday at Rosehill for 5 Diamonds Day. The rail goes out 3 metres. It could be old Road Hill, as they say. Who knows? We could see a lot of leaders getting the chockies here, but I think most horses should get a crack. We saw most horses get a crack on Golden Eagle Day. The best horses stood up. I think we could see very similar, but monitor it as always. Race 1, 1300, benchmark 72 midway. Kick off with a very hard race here. As always at Rosehill, I'll be taking Lady Ichikawa. Colette in fine form, gets a chance to continue it here with the Kavanaugh trained mare. Only missed the placings twice in provincial grade. Beat Trafalgar Square last start. Shout out to you, Will Mitchell. And that horse has run well in midways before, so I'm going to take the $6 to win, $2.15 to price. Here each way on Lady Ichikawa.
I'm going direct fire first here, $9.50, $2.80, nice each way price. Its first up run, I didn't think it was too bad, came fourth, ran on pretty well, probably seeking an extra 100 metres here, punters. So a bit of value first up, don't mind that here. So second race, 1100, benchmark 78. I'm going a lot of value. I think you'll be on Mad Darcy, so I'm going to move away. I'm going to go not that easy, $16 and $3.50 for a place. Its last start ran on really well. I know it came 6th, but see where, if you go watch the replay, it was sitting right down the back, like probably 10 lengths off, and then finished, 4 lengths off near the end. And again, a couple extra 100 metres here, I think. 100 extra metres here. I think it'll just benefit it here. So $16, $3.50. Let's get me some winners, hey?
I'm actually not on Mad Darcy. I don't really like the step up in grade for it. I feel like it's better suited at midway grade, but now that it's probably won a few, it'll probably be stuck in sort of that limbo where it can't run at midway level anymore. I'm going Passagiata. The favourite's going to be very hard to beat out on pace, but Passagiata will be up there as well. She's been racing out of her class down in Melbourne, so forget she's gone around. Back to benchmark 78 is more her speed. She's also developed a very, very bad habit of missing the jump completely, which she did last start, so it was a complete forgive. Needs to jump clean here. If she misses the jump here, it's gone. She jumps clean, she can lead, or at least pressure the leader, be up on pace like she likes to do, and at $7 to win, I'm willing to find out. $1.90 to place currently if that goes over $2, as Cashy's rule says, back at each way, $2 to place. Race 3, 1200 metre highway, class 3. Look, mate, I have a rule of thumb usually not to back favourites in the highway, but Atmospheric Rock, I know it's carrying a lot of weight, but he's a better class than this, surely, punters. He was racing in the Sydney Stakes last start, and that's got some of the best sprinters in the country in it. 10 lengths is a big margin, but he's 10 lengths off of Overpass. And here he's racing against horses that are in the country that I feel like would finish 35 lengths off Overpass. So I'm hoping class takes him a long way here and gets him up at $3.90.
I'm going with Gentile She. I don't know how to say it. Number 5, 20th barrier is the only real concern. Looks like a bit of a stayer that's come back down to the sprint level. And it's had 2 trials that I thought ran really, really well. That first one in particular was a really nice win. The barrier is the only problem here, but I think Zach Lloyd will want to bounce back well. $4.20 is something that I can have in this race. It's a highway, but yeah, I think I can get it done.
Fair enough.
Race number 4, benchmark 78 at the 2,400. I'm going to keep this one pretty simple. I'm going with Fleet Commander here. Adam Hieronymus on board, $7, $2.30 for a place. Great win last start at the distance. Yeah, looking pretty much the same here. Same weight on board, same level. Literally, it's rinse and repeat. We'll go again. Won by 2.5 lengths. I think it can get it done again here. So,
Look, I'm on Fleet Commander as well here. The only thing you didn't mention is that the last start was a win at this distance, and the start before that was only beaten by the favourite in this race currently, and a horse called State of America, Nick, who you got to know quite well last week after it forced you to run yet another second. So I'll be on him each way, $7.50, $2.40 place, just like you, Nick. Race 5, 1,800 metre, benchmark 78. As tough a race as ever to pick here. Probably one of the toughest races of the day. So I'm going to just revert to my default bet because I can see an import first up in Australia. Oh, shit. Here we go again. When I see import first up in Australia, Gilded Water, owned by the king of all people, Nick. The king in a benchmark 78 race at Rosehill. Don't think he'll be at the trophy presentation, though, if it gets up. Decent form in Europe. Could be the case of just rocking up and showing the Aussies how it's done. $4.20. I'm all over it.
I'm with you, mate. I literally had the same thing. Everyone's been underestimating a lot of the international horses coming over. Even Warp Speed from Japan. Everyone kind of forgot about the Japanese after they probably didn't do great in the Golden Eagle.
The Caulfield Cup.
No,
you mean a Scully Pacino?
Yeah.
My bad.
Come on, bro. Don't correct me, and I'm actually right. So yeah, can't forget it again here. So, is it what, Gilded?
Gilded Water. Yeah,
Gilded
sorry,
Water.
bro. I heard Warp Speed and thought you were still on the Cup. I didn't know you transitioned over to the Golden Eagle. No. A Scully Pacino.
Scully Pacino, disappointing.
My bad. Yeah. Pulled up with a cough though. If you're interested, how that horse went.
Of course it did.
Skip race 6 because that's in the tip-off. We'll go to race 7, 1,400 metres, Hot Danish Stakes. Very, very interesting race here. You have Belclair and Magic Time going head-to-head again after they went 1 and 2 in the invitation. Maybe Belclair does the exact same, goes right to the front, plays Catch Me If You Can. If it's playing to a leader's track, it'll be very hard to run her down. You also got Alentia. We were both on it last start in the invitation. Didn't run as well as it could have. Really disappointing, but definitely can bounce back here. Could have maybe had some Waller second up syndrome. Oh, shit. Here we go again. Another import that is first up. Rose Bloom, Waller import. Very juicy price of $21, $3.75 to throw a bit of a spanner in the works. Magic Time's your deserved favourite, so I'm going to 2-play this race. I do think Magic Time gets home here. It's the class run of the race. Should have been running in a Group 1 later on this spring, but apparently it's come here because of how well it got into this race, and they might even skip the Group 1, so you hope it's running well here to justify that choice. $2.25, I'm all over Magic Time, but I'm going to have a cheeky double play here, each way on Rose Bloom, each way at $21 to win $3.75, just in case the import upsets the markets with that European form.
I'll take Alentia again. I think got held back a little bit last time. I think we'll run a bit better, seize the distance again. Won't be as surprised. So I'll take Alentia there. We skip race 8, so you get to talk again for race number 9.
Well, I won't be talking for long. Iron Man, straight onto the week back up. Should have won last week. 1,000% he should have won. Back in trip as well. Sits in the midfield, gets a gap, storms over them, wins. One of my more confident plays, $4.20. Get it done.
Yep, agreed. Move to race number 10, benchmark 78, 1,400. I'm going to keep this one simple as well. Rapid Dash for me, $11 for the win. Hasn't been too bad. It's been pretty good. 2 to 4th places peaking here. It's going to be better. Going for a bit of value in the last, so keep it in your quaddies as well if you don't think.
I'll go the opposite. Rock Empire looks a good thing in the last. Simply jump, lead, win for Gaybot in the last race of the day. It's simple, but it could be effective at $3.30. Rock Empire for Cashy in the last Rosehill. All right, mate. That concludes Rosehill. We move to the tipping comp, and boy, do you have a slippery staircase to try and climb in the last few weeks here. We've got about 3 weeks to go, maybe 4. I think it's 3.
Good amount of races this weekend.
But yeah, there's a good amount of races this weekend. There's 6 still to go because one's on Thursday, which we'll touch on in a second. Then I believe there's still another 4 to come after that. So you've got about 10 races to catch me, mate. You've got to catch up about 30 points. I'm not super confident because you're you. You can definitely hit a very good bet and chase me down. And 10 races for 30 points is completely doable. So we'll go to the Oaks on Thursday. All right, so we're going to go through this in a bit more detail for you punters. We'll also split this up and release it on its own if you're interested in some Thursday betting. But The VRC Oaks won last year by Zardozi. The year before that, She's Extreme. We could call this the Cashy. I've been on them both times, but no prizes for me there. Unlike the Coolmore back value, it's more of a favourites race in the last couple of years, and I'm thinking it could lean that way again. One of the two favourites in this race could be getting the job done. We're going to look at the field really quickly here, punters. It's going to be one of the last races on the day on Thursday. It's race 8, jumps at 5:10 p.m. over the 2,500 metre mark. Treasure of the Moment's your favourite. You got Too Darn Discreet, who is absolutely building that picket fence, coming in as the next horse. You got Harlem Queen, coming off some interesting Sydney form. You've got Rag Queen, for shout out to you, Will Mitchell. Powers of Opal is your second favourite with J-Mac. Pleasure Artist, Talisay, Feminelle, Killcare Beach Girl, Noises, Hurry Curry, great name for a horse. Inevitable Truth, Plus at Pearl, and all kinds of folk rounds out the field at 100 to 1. Nicholas, who are the horses that you're really looking at here?
Look, I like Powers of Opal last week. That was one of my many second place plays. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about getting that extra 500 metre within a week backup. It's not even a week backup. It's
Saturday to
days
Thursday.
after. So, look, can get it done. A lot of horses doing that this weekend.
Very common for the Oaks.
So, we'll wait and see. I think, Powers of Opal, Too Darn Discreet looked really good in her win on the weekend as well. And then obviously the favourite Treasure the Moment looks outstanding. So, but I've got to go value, man. I've got to go value. I think this horse ran decently behind Too Darn Discreet. Came 5th in that race. Hurry Curry, $23, $4.30. I think can do a bit better here. Going to give it a chance. I'm really hoping here. I'm really clutching at some straws. But look, let's have a crack. Hurry Curry for me, $23 for the win.
Fair enough. This was the horse that headbutted Jamie Carr, if I'm not incorrect. So it could be a bit of an omen there. Got a little bit cranky behind the gates, headbutted the jockey. Yow's on it instead this time, instead of Jamie. Maybe it could play into its favour. Maybe it was just really keen to run and they didn't let it, and now it's going to come out here and bolt in. Look, call me a coward. I'm playing the straight bat here. Powers of Opal at $3.80. J-Mac, I think it was one of his better chances on Saturday. When it didn't win, I was pretty crushed. I thought it was a shoe-in. But you know what? Didn't get the scalp of Treasure of the Moment, who comes in here and is deserved favourite because it beat Powers of Opal on the weekend. But I feel like we could turn the tables here. Extra 500 metres, gets to chase it down a bit more. And, I mean, they absolutely gapped the rest of them. The rest of them weren't really in the finish. So I think those two are the horses, call me obvious because they're the two favourites. Those are the ones to follow out of that race on the weekend. Those are the ones that I feel like you should be betting on. I'm going Powers of Opal, J-Mac to do the Oaks in 2023 and the Oaks in 2024 as well. When it comes to Oaks Day betting as well, always head to our double profile. Use the code MOCKSPORTS when signing up to let them know we sent you. All multis, tips, exotics, they're all going to be there. Make sure to gamble responsibly and set a deposit limit when doing so. But usually Oaks Day is a lot better for us than Melbourne Cup Day. We've backed a lot more winners on Oaks Day than Melbourne Cup Day in the last few years. So hopefully we fill up our pockets in preparation for Saturday, which we will move to now. We'll touch on the couple of Rosehill races before we get really sinking our teeth into Champions Day. 1100 metres Golden Gift, Rosehill race 6. Winner of this gets automatic entry into the Golden Slipper. I believe last year was won by Shangri-La Express.
Yeah, I don't mind this race. I haven't been watching the 2-year-olds as nicely, but I went through and watched most of these races and trials that these guys have been in, and I've settled on Tupakara.
Fair enough.
Ran
Don't blame
home
you.
well. Ran home really well behind Belle Mercy, who I've got a lot of time for. Probably the top girl that we've seen so far, and we agreed. Ran home really well. Got a bit stuck as well. So $4.20 here to give me some points back, hopefully. But I do like this one a lot.
Yeah, had a great trial as well, where it closed off on those days where they had their first trial. Closed off, was one of the more eye-catching closes of the day, I would say. So getting at that extra 100 metres here could really play into its favour. But I'm going with a girl as well. I'm very scared of North England. I'm also very scared of another girl in Ole Ole. But I'm also scared of Chikama because Gay Waterhouse, you never know what they're going to pull out. And a Gay Waterhouse 2 at $14 here with coming off some very good trials. Don't blame you if you're on their punters because it might just come out and gap them. But Ikarian Dream was the favourite for the gym crack. Scratched. Went to the midweeks at Warwick Farm. Made easy work of them. $7 to win now, $2.05 to place. I think that is kind of silly odds for a horse that was supposed to start favourite in a gym crack.
Fair enough.
Obviously got scratched, but if she was good enough for the gym crack favouritism, why is she $7 here? Obviously, yeah, maybe she's a girl against the boys, make the boys the favourites, but I feel like she should be closer to North England there in the market. So Ikarian Dream, I think, is a great bet to have each way in the Golden Gift. We move to 1,800 metres, the 5 Diamonds Rosehill Race 8. Another race we should call the Cashy. I'm 2 from 2 in this race's running history. I'm hoping to make it 3 from 3 this weekend. Great field. Again, doesn't get talked about as much as the other races because it's brand new and they don't really hype it up. But this being the third, all 3 editions, they've managed to get a really good field together for the B and C graders of the middle distance horses that happen to be 5 years old. I know that that's very niche, that's very specific, but they've done a great job of attracting a great field each and every year. So who are your thoughts for this race, mate?
I'm going to go Pericles here, $12 and $3.60. 16th barrier is the only thing that really worries it. Apart from that one win early on in its prep, it's done all right, but just hasn't been perfect. And I think this race, it can get it done. 1,800 metres. Don't mind its distance there. It's won there before and it's come third there before. So 2 starts, 2 in the placings with 1 win. Can't complain there. $12, $3.60 for Pericles.
Look, fair enough, mate. Pericles was one that I was leaning towards as well, but I learnt a while ago I don't back Pericles at anything above the mile. Just burnt me a couple times there that I don't really want to jump into again. Could make a case for most of this field here. Attrition was very good last start. So was Lindemann. Osipenko, hasn't that fallen off a cliff? Docklands is your favourite, likely to run in Melbourne though. So we've covered it in the quaddie, but likely going to get changed come Saturday morning. I know a Star comes off a win. Territory Express comes off a great run where it almost got a win after it bombed the start. But I scroll all the way down here, Nick, and oh shit, here we go again.
Bro, you're saying that a lot today.
Relentless Voyager. It was almost my best bet last week, mate. It's an import first up. It was paying $5 favourite in Rosehill Gold Cup. Why is it $23 now, Nick?
It is a better field in this race.
It is a much better field, yes. It is drier conditions and it is a lower distance. But I just don't understand. What am I missing? If it was good enough to be $5 last week, why is it $23? It was $26 when I wrote my notes. I'm all over it here. I just think the E-ball form of Sea King and One Smooth Operator, yes, didn't stack up in the cup, but it was bulletproof first up in this country. That Geelong Cup win and that Bendigo Cup win, phenomenal. Yes, those were over much longer distance than 1,800 here, and it probably would have suited him better at 2,000 last weekend and in those conditions that we got on race day because, more of a soft track horse, but I have no reason why this is paying over $20 when it was $5 last week. It was almost my best bet last week. For one thing for sure, it's my best roughie this week. If it gets off, I'm home and hosed. I'm away from you. You're sitting in Macca's for 24 hours.
If this wins, or I wouldn't say that because I'm going to be going rough for the rest and
fair enough.
Anything can happen. Knight's Choice won the Melbourne Cup. Anything can happen. Very
true. But yeah, Relentless Voyager for me in the 5 Diamonds. I'm confident that it runs well. Even a place I'll take at those odds. Get on, punters. Even $5 each way gets you a nice payout there. We go to Flemington now. Let's sink our teeth into Champions Day. 1,200 metres, Group 1, Champions Sprint, Race 6. And this is just a race that always throws a spanner in the works. And it's looking like that could be the case again this year because it's absolutely stacked. Anything can win. This is very much so like you can make a case for any horse. And if anything gets up here, I won't be surprised because you can make a case for each and every one. They're all coming off either wins or very, very good runs. Private Life coming off a Caulfield Guineas, and finds himself at $31. Bellatrix Star all the way at 51 kilos, just placed in a Coolmore Stud Stakes and comes off the week backup. Lady Laguna, always consistent. Sunshine in Paris comes off a second to Bella Nipotina. Bella Nipotina is your favourite. Who knows if she runs as well as she can. Barraquil, the new kid on the scene. And then I Am Unstoppable, second to Barraquil. Giga Kick and Overpass, of course, we already know how good they are. Mate, have you found a winner for us in the Champions Sprint?
I'm going Giga Kick. I think in the Everest, it surprised everyone. I think it's going to do one better here. I think it's the only thing that can really knock off Bella here. I think Barraquil might go all right, but I think Giga Kick is my more safer play where I'm a bit more confident in.
Fair enough. I'm just going to stick with Bella. It's tried. It's true.
You can play it safe, mate. You can play straight bats the rest of the year, mate.
She is, I will warn you this, punters. She has not been this vulnerable or prep. Also, like I said, this is a race where favourites go down. You know, Nature Strip went down at red odds to Rockin' Horse. So favourites can get beat. Bella Nipotina, this is not her grand final. Her grand final was 2 starts ago now. She also doesn't love the straight. She's never won down the straight in, 10 attempts down the straight? Yeah, 10 attempts down the straight, has yet to win. So that's another big negative against her, obviously. And then you have all these other horses that are really good at much bigger odds. But she's in the best form of her life. If I get off and she wins, I'll just regret it. Bella Nipotina. Cool. Race 7, 1,600 metres, Champions Mile. This is where we saw Pride of Jenny do the week back up last year and surprise everyone. And we find her here again when most people reckon she should go to the paddock, but she's got Ben Melham on board. Don't get me riled up about it again, and she's the favourite. Don't know how she's the favourite compared to her last 2 starts, but again, now that I've said it, she'll win by 20 lengths. Mate, who have you found in this race?
I'm going broadsiding, $6 for the win. Broke Wink's track record. So did 2 other horses I know, but ran really well in the Cox Plate. 3-year-old, I think 1,600 is a lot.
52 kilos as well.
Do you want to do the form for this, or do you want me to do it?
Sorry.
1,600 metres, 52 kilos. Well done, mate. Took the words out of my mouth. 5 kilos on the next horse, pretty much. So, yeah, looking good. Broadsiding. I'm pretty happy with this one here. $6. Hopefully it goes out a little bit and someone gets crunched. Like, I think Brightside might get a good go.
Sorry, I just thought you weren't going to mention it for a second. I was like, you're the weights man. How are you not noticing this 5 kilo?
I was literally about to say it.
Sorry. I was just like,
you've never butt in on my
No, it's just because I was like, he said everything but the weights, and you're always about the weights. I don't know how you haven't mentioned it. Fangirl for me, I think that, was inevitable. But again, you can make a case for just about any of these horses. I wouldn't even be surprised if New Energy gets up at $91 here. That's how open this race is. It could be a matter of who's going to be the sacrificial lamb to try and get up to Pride of Jenny, but it also could be the case that she's just completely gassed and she can't even do what she usually does. So I think if that's the case, it sets up well for Fangirl to finally get one back on this horse who she hasn't been able to, get into it because of that tempo before. Getting Via Sistina vibes. Via Sistina wasn't able to chase it down a couple of times because of that tempo, and once they sort of figured out how to drag that tempo down, Via Sistina was able to come over the top. I'm thinking Fangirl maybe does the same here. Speaking of Via Sistina, we go to 2,000 metre, race 8 of Flemington card, the Champions Stakes. Via Sistina is your $1.65 favourite. It's, again, a stacked field. Anything can win, except you've got Winks, or the girl that smashed Winks' track record there. You'd be on her if she was paying over $2. I don't need to. We've got her backed at $9, so I'll be looking at something else, and I'll just be sitting and watching and cheering her home at $9. That'll be a lovely payout for us and any punter that got on with us. But Nick, have you found something to beat the champion Via Sistina?
Via Sistina wins for the tip-off. I'm going with a champion. I've changed it again. I'm going Royal Champion. So $21, $3.75, another import who looks like they've been setting her up for this race.
Was originally meant to be a Cox Plate horse.
Yes, but didn't. But then comes to this one. Has been ran decent at the 2,000 metres overseas. Run 1,400 and 1,600, so should be peaking here. Coming on board, Craig Williams, great jockey. Don't mind Elias as well, punters, but $21, I'm licking my lips. Don't mind that. Even a place gets more points than Visa
Yeah, very, very scared of that horse because, like I said, was meant to be Cox Plate. And as you quite rightly pointed out, once it didn't get into the Cox Plate, they had to revert to another race, found this as the grand final. And boy, oh boy, if it was meant to be a Cox Plate horse, it could run out of its skin here. Look, without a fight, you would love to see him win. But even the trainers have said, we're just looking for a placing here. We're looking for him to run on in the placings and look strong enough that we can take him overseas to some Hong Kong races before he coming back in the autumn. If he if he fails to run well, probably just puts him away and then comes back in the autumn. But he's finally healthy again. He's finally fit enough to go to the races. Every bit of his track work does look sound. So let's just hope that he gets through happy, healthy. And if he wins, all credit to him. I just can't be on him off that big of a break. I think a tissue is the only horse that could potentially beat Vestina. That'd be such a Chris Waller thing as well. For a tissue to back up off the week and do what she did last year and back up off the week and win this race. $8 to win, $2 to place. I'll take it. I'll even take Vestina to win and then a tissue to place to just get me a couple of extra points. Here, very scared of Elias though. Very scared of Elias. That's all I'll say. Around the grounds, have you found anything else on Champions Day that you want to bet on?
I've got a couple for tomorrow. A couple of my horses running around tomorrow. So all at Hawkesbury tomorrow if you get this live and you want to put a couple of bets on. So race number 4, Water Dilemma. Number 7 is my horse, $5.50, running around pretty nicely. And then race number 5, number 1, Kazotsky, $3.80. That's also my horse. And then I've also got race 7 at Hawkesbury. RAF Attack, number 10. That's just an Omen bet. There's a RAF base right next door to this track. So
I like that.
Name bet.
I like that a lot.
And Bindy's Choice, race 8 at Hawkesbury as well. So if you want to have a bit of a punt tomorrow, that's some plays for you. And then I've obviously got some down in Flemington. Race number 3, Serpentine, $5. J-Mac comes on board. Was unlucky last start, should have won. Front Page did really well in the Kosciuszko, $4.60. Looking nice again. And then race 5, I know you've got a tip for this one, but I'm going Private Legacy, $12. Ran well, not the last start, the start before. Was a bit unlucky last start, but should bounce back well.
I found 3 on Flemington's card. I mean, you'll see the trend pretty quickly. They're all McDonald ridden. They're all the favourites. I just think McDonald's going to have yet another big day out here. I'll be definitely multiing up a lot of his rides here. We go to race 3, Kinesiology, $2.70 in the Stayers race there. Could have, should have, probably should have been in the Melbourne Cup. Could have won. Also is being set for next year's Melbourne Cup, apparently. They've found their next Solcombe where they're going to start it in this race, then come around again in a year's time. I think it wins. Race 5, Hinged. I'm going back to the well. I told myself I was never going to again. Back to the Hinged well. Surely she just wins. Come on, Hinged girl. Get it done for me. Race 9, Pisanello, $3.10. Another just good horse that's coming off some good form. And J-Mac, Jay Cummings, 2 from 6 at the distance, but 2 placings as well. 2 from 2 second up as well. Keen on Pisanello in the last at Flemington.
Cool.
All right, so we'll do the Rosehill Quaddie. We'll actually do both Quaddies today because of just how big the racing date is. So quickly for the Rosehill Quaddie, mate. You read out the horses and I'll give you the numbers, punters.
I've got Magic Time, Belclair, Rose Bloom, and Alentia.
That'll be 1, 2, 3, 7.
Race 8, Pericles, Relentless Voyager, Attrition, and Docklands.
That'll be 1, 5, 9, 13. But if Docklands scratches, of course, keep an eye on at the Mock Sports on Instagram for any changes.
Race number 9, we've got Iron Man, Firestar, Mars Mission, and Romeo's Choice.
We've got 3, 6, 8, 10.
Race 10, we've got Rock Empire, Chica, Mojito, French Endeavour, and Rapidash.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 12.
$50 gets you 19.5%. Flemington Quaddie as well. A lot of you guys have been asking for Flemington Quaddie, so we'll go Giga Kick, Bella.
overpass. And do we chuck Barrack Wheel in just in case he runs out of his skin and gets the job done?
Cool. Don't mind that. So that's
If we get through that race, I'll be very happy.
1, 2, 4, and 5. Race number 7.
Right
Fangirl.
side is the favourite. Fangirl.
Broadsiding.
And then what do you reckon? Antino, Amelia's Jewel, or Pride of Jenny? Who do we put in?
Or Steffi.
Or Steffi. Or another Will. Or anyone in this race.
Far out. This is a tough race. Let's go. Honestly, let's go 10, 11, 12, 13. Fangirl, Amelia's Jewel, Steffi, and Broadsiding. Because that, honestly, if we go a bit of value, it's the only way we can win more money.
So we're not going Brightside or Antino?
No.
Okay. Bold. Very bold now that Brightside gets back to the mile.
If they all win, you're not going to win anything.
True. Okay. Vestina has to go in as the favourite.
And then just our tips.
Okay, yeah, fair. And we'll chuck Elias in because I'm very scared of Elias winning. So that means we have 6, 8, 10, 11. And then in the last, we'll have Pisanello. We'll have Keenan. I reckon we also...
Trapeze Warrior.
I was thinking, I like your thinking. And then I reckon maybe we go Kiko because Craig Williams is just running out of his skin at the moment.
Yep, so that's 5, 10, 12, 16. Awesome, okay. 19 and a half. $50 gets you 19.5%. So that's both quaddies. We'll post them up. There might be a couple of changes in there as well, obviously with scratching. So keep an eye on our socials on Saturday morning. Best bet around the country, mate. Who are you going to have and why?
Best bet around the country is Keener Zoology. Flemington race 3, $2.70. I'm surprised J-Mac's not riding it, but J-Mac's jumped on Serpentine. That is the only query I have, but Damien Lane is no slouch, as we know. Should have been in the Cup. Waller's very confident on it. They reckon it's a Cup horse next year. The European form was very good. Tick, 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 tick. The only X is there's no J-Mac. But again, Damien Lane, it's just as good. Keener Zoology, $2.70. Load up. Best bet of the day.
I'm going Ironman, $4.20. There's not really too much that I'm like absolutely confident because a lot of the ones that I'm on that I like, there's a lot of good horses in that race. So Ironman for me, $4.20. That'll be my best of the day. And that brings us to the end of one of our longest podcasts in a while, just over an hour, I think.
Quick shout out to the followers, the sponsors. You would have already heard. Dabble. Use the code MOXSports for signing up to let them know we sent you. Gamble responsibly when you do so. And Stridyl, of course, our interview with the Stridyl owners will be dropping imminently, so get keen for that. If you've ever wondered about how you can own your very own horse, you'll just have to listen to that interview with them, and it'll tell you exactly how to get involved in horse race ownership. Mate, anything to say to the punters?
Best of luck. It's a tough game, I know firsthand. So good couple of days coming up of punting again, and then we have a bit of a break. So the break is coming. I know we've got a couple more weeks, but then we've got a break again. So enjoy it while we can, but just be responsible as always. Do what you can and enjoy it.
Sorry for yelling at your punters. That's all
I'll
I'll
say.
say.
A lot of yelling. I'll calm him down. I'll give him a talking to. He might be sent back to the corner after this one. But no, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone that's been watching us. We've been going absolutely crazy this spring, and hopefully we can bring you some more cool stuff coming through autumn and then through spring next year. And who even knows, we might even have a different show coming in with some footy and sports content. But we're coming near to the end of this season, but it's been our best one by far. So
by a mile.
Loving it all. New setup as well is awesome. I know we haven't really talked about that since the first week. So yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Everything. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.